Traveling internationally can be one of the most exhilarating experiences, filled with breathtaking sights, vibrant cultures, and unforgettable encounters. Yet, beneath the allure of new destinations lies a complex web of challenges that can significantly impact a traveler's health and well-being. As I embarked on my first international adventure, I felt the thrill of anticipation mixed with a twinge of anxiety. Little did I know that this journey would teach me invaluable lessons about culture shock, travel stress, the effects of time zone changes, and the importance of food and water safety. The moment I stepped off the plane in a bustling foreign city, I was immediately engulfed by a wave of sensory overload. The air was thick with unfamiliar scents, a melange of spices, street food, and the faint aroma of exhaust from the crowded streets. The cacophony of voices, each speaking a different language, created a symphony of sounds that was both exhilarating and overwhelming. I was struck by the realization that I was no longer in my comfort zone. This was culture shock in its rawest form, and it hit me like a freight train. Navigating this new environment was daunting. Simple tasks, such as ordering food or asking for directions, became monumental challenges. I found myself grappling with the local language, fumbling through my phrasebook as I tried to communicate my needs. I felt like an outsider, a spectator, in a world that moved with a rhythm I couldn't quite grasp. The stress of travel began to seep into my bones, making me acutely aware of how fatigue and anxiety could manifest physically. I noticed that my heart raced in crowded markets, and my stomach churned at the thought of trying unfamiliar dishes. As the days passed, I became increasingly aware of the impact of crossing multiple time zones. The thrill of exploration was often overshadowed by a profound sense of exhaustion. Jet lag hit me like a ton of bricks, leaving me disoriented and irritable. My body, accustomed to a specific routine, struggled to adapt to the new schedule. I would wake up at odd hours, staring at the ceiling in the darkness of my hotel room, my mind racing through the day's itinerary, even as my body begged for rest. I learned that hydration was crucial in combating the fatigue of travel, yet I often found myself neglecting this simple necessity amidst the whirlwind of sightseeing and adventure. As I ventured deeper into the local culture, I encountered another layer of complexity: food and water safety. Eager to immerse myself in the culinary delights of the region, I often found myself torn between adventurous enthusiasm and the nagging voice of caution in my head. Street vendors offered tantalizing treats that beckoned me with their vibrant colors and enticing aromas. However, I had read enough travel blogs to know that indulging without caution could lead to a bout of food poisoning that would mar my experience. With each meal, I became a detective of sorts, scrutinizing the cleanliness of the stalls and the freshness of the ingredients. I learned to ask questions, to observe how locals interacted with their food, and to trust my instincts. I steered clear of anything that seemed questionable, opting instead for well-cooked dishes and bottled water. Yet, even with precautions, there were moments of temptation that tested my resolve. The allure of a local delicacy, a dish that promised to encapsulate the essence of the culture, was often hard to resist. On one particularly sweltering afternoon, I found myself at a bustling market, surrounded by the vibrant chaos of vendors hawking their wares. The sizzling sounds of food being prepared filled the air, and my stomach grumbled in response. I spotted a vendor selling skewers of grilled meat, glistening with spices and herbs. My mouth watered as I watched locals eagerly devour the skewers, their faces lighting up with delight. I approached the stall, heart racing with both excitement and trepidation. After a brief exchange, I took a leap of faith and ordered a skewer, savoring each bite as I relished the explosion of flavors. In that moment, I felt a sense of triumph. I had conquered my fears and embraced the experience. Yet, the celebration was short-lived. Later that evening, my stomach began to protest. The discomfort quickly escalated into a symphony of cramps and nausea. It was a harsh reminder of the importance of food safety, a lesson learned the hard way. As I navigated the aftermath of my culinary adventure, I realized that travel stress wasn't just about the physical toll. It was also about the emotional journey. I felt a sense of isolation, grappling with the discomfort while being miles away from home. Yet, in the midst of my struggles, I also discovered resilience. I learned to adapt, to prioritize self-care, and to listen to my body. I found solace in quiet moments, whether it was sipping ginger tea to soothe my stomach or taking a leisurely stroll through a park to clear my mind. The experience taught me that international travel is a delicate balance between exploration and self-preservation. It's about embracing the thrill of the unknown while being mindful of the challenges that accompany it. I began to appreciate the richness of the journey, understanding that culture shock and travel stress were not merely obstacles, but integral parts of the adventure. They shaped my perspective, deepened my appreciation for the world, and ultimately enriched my travel experience. As I prepared to return home, I reflected on the lessons I had learned. I understood that the key to successful international travel lay in preparation, awareness, and adaptability. I vowed to embrace each new destination with an open heart, ready to face the inevitable challenges that would arise. With newfound wisdom, I stepped onto the plane, ready to carry the lessons of my journey into future adventures, knowing that every experience, whether joyous or challenging, was a stepping stone toward personal growth and understanding.